cycling is kind of it's almost like clubbing. Those same kinds of people do it. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So it's a smooth transition. You give them, their serotonin is depleted. You give them a nice dark room, and you get them to sweat it out and hopefully boost some natural endorphins in there. You should drink a lot of water.
Everybody else sees you suffering, so you're like, we're in this together. We're both suffering. This is horrible.
Everybody just smells like fucked buttholes, and they all just suffer together.
Oh, well, we're back here on the Skimbo Lounge, home of the Big Booty Burger.
I can't stop doing the Matt Berry voice, dude. I've been watching What We Do in the Shadows. He's so good on that.
Where are you watching What We Do in the Shadows?
Hulu.
Oh, you have Hulu.
I got the ad-free Hulu, baby.
Yeah, I started watching that, and then our subscription ran out.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, no.
I'll hook you up with the ad-free dope later.
Sure.
Stick it right in your arm. You'll keep coming back.
It's so good.
Checking in with you, Rory. How's it going?
Oh, it's just another week in what is going to be eventually. We brought it up on the other episode, like The Walking Dead. I think that's where we're headed.
We're coming.
Is just eventually, it's The Walking Dead. I think people are going to become zombies.
Do you?
Maybe. I don't know. I think the whole zombie premise is a little contrived.
I mean, COVID zombies would be a new twist on it. You know what I mean?
You'd think so. I mean,
because it keeps doing different shit. Alyssa Milano says that it makes your hair fall out. I think she just used a detangling brush very roughly.
6 weeks later, it's like, oh, she just what is it? Alopecia or what is it?
She's just totally Gollum bald, and she has like completely milk white eyes and bone claws.
Jesus. You just see a conspicuous ring on her finger.
It's just like that movie or that show. What's it called? The Strand.
Oh,
where all
God.
the people turn into vampires spontaneously.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, Chris Cuomo is just turning into a fucking vampire on the air. That'd be kind of sweet.
I would actually watch then.
Yeah.
I would watch that.
He's so full of shit. He didn't have COVID. He's such a fucking...
He's a vampire.
He's a liar. That's
what it is.
I guess that's what vampires do is they lie to you.
Vampire. Have you ever seen him outside? That's what I'm saying.
No.
Think about it.
I mean...
Everyone's like, who the fuck is this guy?
Cuomo? What the... I thought he was the governor.
Yeah. No, I've never seen... Yeah, think about it. Never seen a shot of him outside.
Have you ever seen Andrew and Chris Cuomo in the same place at the same time? No, you haven't. Think about that, too.
Hannah Montana and Miley Cyrus.
He just puts in bar nipple piercings when he's Andrew Cuomo, which is a shoot. That dude has pierced nips.
Oh, yeah, you think so?
Oh, yeah. Somebody on the internet, God bless the internet.
I saw the picture where, like...
In the polo.
Yeah.
Dude,
like, whoa. He just have really fucked up nipples. You don't know.
No, somebody did like a deep dive into every time, because people have this kind of time in a pandemic, to dive in and see the nipple situation, polo gate or nipple gate, whatever you prefer, to see what Andrew Cuomo's got going on under the shirt. And the nipple piercings don't show up until after his divorce.
No shit.
Yeah.
So like somebody did a timeline where they're like normal. He could have just like after the divorce, that could just be like he got a lot of soy in him and it just like fucked up his just all stores.
It made his areola turn into braille?
Yeah, it just like fucks up your nipples. Some weird food.
Yeah, he fucked up his nipples by sticking metal bars through them.
Yeah,
they're pierced.
Just
I'm an Andrew Cuomo nipple truther.
All the way across. He's getting hung like those people from hooks on ceilings.
Jesus wept.
He had some weird angry techno fucking...
Andrew Cuomo in Hellraiser, but he's having the time of his life.
And there's just a bunch of other people swinging. Like, what do you do on the weekend? Oh, I'm a governor. What do you do? I'm a mom. Like, they're just all swinging from
I'm
the
a demon from the 9th level of hell.
Yeah.
You opened a puzzle box and came here.
Whatever, Terry.
Classic Terry. Shut down the schools.
He's into cosplay.
Oh,
Cuomo as a furry. It's not great.
I like Andrew Cuomo as a masochist.
Sure.
And probably a little bit of a sadist.
I like to think that a lot more of our leaders are than we realize.
Yeah. I think Chris Cuomo's a furry.
You think?
I think his brother's a furry.
You got a lot of theories about the Cuomos.
I've had a lot of time to think about the Cuomos, yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, what else is there to do?
Nothing.
They don't... Italians, dude, we haven't had an Italian president. Think about that. Do you feel a little discriminated against? I know I do.
Boy, I've never thought about that.
Well, pizza pie, my boy. As a fellow Paisan, you ought to be as outraged as I.
Yeah, I got a little in
I
there.
think Andrew Cuomo's going to be the guy.
Oh, yeah?
With his brother Fredo Cuomo at his
Listen, we
side.
got to one thing at a time. There's already an election coming up, and I'm already scared about it. So
Sweating a little.
yeah.
Well, you're sweating about the election because you got an alarming email. And it's not the same one I got, which was an email from the Walgreens people. They are passing on our ad campaign, Meet Me at Walgreens.
Oh, they are. That's a shame.
They also passed on Walgreens is for winners.
I don't know why they would. So I guess did you hit them back like, what about Walgreens is for losers? Let's keep the ball rolling, guys. I want to work with you.
I like where your head is at. I did that exact thing. They like that even less. They didn't quite see the irony. So now we're banned from Walgreens.
That's okay. Fuck Walgreens. That's the new one. Send them that one. Put it in quotation marks so they know that it's a slogan idea. Fuck Walgreens.
Fuck Walgreens. We're finally going to win it.
Just taking shots, random shots.
You know.
The big corporate guys.
They also did not like our ad, which was just a 30-minute ad placement of me and Tanner chiseling a plastic strainer off of a fucking grill.
Yep.
Which is based on a true story.
And
Megan, we all know you did it. It's fine.
Oh, no, we need to get a colander. Just calling people out.
It's the truth. It's a shoot, but it's the funniest fucking thing ever. So
that would be a great commercial, though. You just it really is a terrible commercial idea when you think about it. It's very long and confusing.
We just buy up an entire episode of The Big Bang Theory's worth of airtime to just show us using a butter knife to chisel a plastic colander that's melted and hardened into the coils of an ancient range on a fucking stove that's older than my grandma.
Word. Yeah. And then, so they're like, oh, what are we going to do now? And it just shows them romp into Walgreens. And
Meet me at Walgreens.
They get like the happy kind of, like you're watching a Walgreens commercial. We have everything at Walgreens. It's just them. They've got a new colander. And then it just cuts back to it being melted onto the coil again. One of them going, fuck! And it just ends. Walgreens, we're here.
Or even better, true to life, they show up to Walgreens and like, we'll take your finest colander. And they go, we don't know what that is, and we definitely don't sell it. Welcome to Walgreens.
Would you like some candy? Walgreens.
Do you want mini Babe Ruths in an obscene quantity that you'll be ashamed to carry out of the store?
So you're telling me you have an absurd amount of fish sticks in a strange freezer on the corner?
On my way.
Yeah, it's great. That's a great commercial.
I just think Rusted Root is a hilarious punchline song for anything like that.
And that could be the slogan. Walgreens, on my way. What does it mean? I don't know.
We'll send you on your way.
Yeah, it's all a great tie-in.
With tampons and batteries for your flashlight.
And baking soda.
On my way.
Just because.
It's great.
You can buy these random assortments of things. Only at Walgreens. We won't judge you. We replaced all the clerks with robots.
You didn't even notice, did you, you stupid bastard? Because you don't look them in the eye.
It's like, I'm way more comfortable. They're like, well, since we replaced all the clerks with robots, the sales of condoms and lube has gone up exponentially.
We can't keep it in stock.
It's wild.
Also, cough medicine flying off the shelves. What's that about? The pharmacy droids are off the ball.
They're not doing great. You see a robot making a back alley deal with a tweaker.
Be cool, man.
I got to get back to my shift.
They're onto me.
That's terrible. It's awful stuff.
Well, it's not half so awful as the email that you got.
Oh, well, God, I realized like years ago I was on the internet and I had seen this thing. So I was like, you've got to look at this. You've got to look at this fucking survey that the Trump campaign put out, where it was like, how, like in a bunch of different metrics, like, how is Donald Trump doing? Good, great, or excellent. Like, there's no anything else. He only wants to know if you give a fuck. And I was like, I am fucking out of here. But they got my email. They got my old email. Like, not any of the ones I use anymore, because I would have realized this, but I went back every now and then. I'm like, I need an email that I can just sign up for bullshit with, and they'll send me that stupid code that you need to so they know that it's the right email. Because I play a lot of video games because I'm a nerd. Anyways, so I go there to get that code, and I realize my whole folder is just full of Trump campaign emails. Like, Trump is under attack and needs your help. And it's just a shit ton of them. The liberals are at it again. Don't let Sleepy Joe get behind the wheel. Vote for Trump. And there's just a fuck ton of them. So obviously I mark it as spam, but the only thing that does is it keeps me from seeing them from now on. So one day I'll look in my spam folder and see just 30,000 Trump emails. Like, Put this ball gag in your mouth and get
Well,
on your
that
knees
and they're
for Trump.
definitely going to sell your email to other fucking things. So, like, you're going to get an
course.
email from Ted Cruz being like, "Hi, folks. Hate to come hat in hand like this, but old Ted Cruz needs a replacement hip because I don't believe people should have health care, and that came back to bite me in the ass. Won't you donate to Ted Cruz's new hip?" You're going to get hit by, like,
Everything.
every other Republican campaign under the sun.
But that's
now.
already that email. It's just everything under the sun. We want you to take this survey for Bunga.com, and they'll give you 20 jazz points, which you can put towards a raffle for a new car that no one's ever going to see. And
This all seems legitimate.
It's all spam emails, just a million fucking piles of junk. But when you look at your front page of that, where you're like, oh, well, how many emails do I have now in the junk? And like, it's 30,000. You're going, thanks, AOL. You're taking a hit for me data-wise.
No problem, Rory.
Yeah, and you just look, but like the first page is 30 of them are Trump emails, and you're like, what the fuck is going
That's
on?
rough. That makes you feel bad inside.
Yeah.
You know who's doing that, don't you? Q.
Oh, yeah, QAnon?
Yeah.
It's all Q.
I told you I'd get you there.
Well done. Well, it was funny. 'cause-
Only took me the first 20 minutes of the podcast.
No, it's excellent. So actually, it's a funny thing to talk about because there are some people online who think they finally figured out who Q actually is.
Here's the thing, Rory.
And let me spoil it for you, though, real quick. It's not someone connected to Trump.
Well, let's explain Q. Explain Q.
Q is basically this theory that came out on sites like 4chan and weird internet forums, discussion forums, most of them horribly politically incorrect, where a guy came around saying that he was an anonymous person working close with Trump who had Q-level access, which is some very, very high secret clearance. So he had all the secrets, and he wants to let you know that Trump, boy, he's actually playing the long con. But not only that, Q is all about, dismantling the deep state and disseminating information about the global conspiracy and that kind of shit. Like, it's all this, every nebulous, awkward, anti-Semitic fucking, one world government conspiracy theory out there kind of flows through the QAnon, umbrella, let's say. But Q was basically the idea was this guy who was disseminating, this whole sort of master plan to take this all down that Trump is in on. That's why you need to support Trump. But it just came out that somebody doxed this dude, Jim Watkins. Now, Jim Watkins is right now he lives in the Philippines. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he used to live in America or another country, and he had to flee. Because he runs 8chan, which I believe now is called 8kun, or some weird fucking thing like that. To understand this is an offshoot of 4chan. Now, if you don't know what 4chan is, and please, if you have thought even for a second about trying to find any of these things online, do not go to them because you'll end up on a fucking list. And I'm not joking. It's just these very, very vitriolic, mostly hate-filled, and very backward-thinking online forums. There's literally one called Poll, which stands for politically incorrect, and you can just find discussion forums about any awful fucking topic that you could even think of. Who is the worst? Blah. And think about really what I mean when I say blah. There's a ton. This is the kind of place where when you sit there and go, how did something get shared about this dude getting chainsawed by the cartel? Like, that shit gets spread on places like 4chan online. Now, back to Jim Watkins. He decided that 4chan wasn't a bastion of free speech enough because they spoke out against things like pedophilia. And so he left to create 8chan where such things could be discussed freely.
So he's a pedophile.
More or less, I assume. I didn't do a ton of research into this guy. Again, this is you trying to find out information about these kind of people. You start to cross a fucking line. This is the kind of guy. There's a website out there, and it's called. And these are websites that I've never heard of before I started down this little path. It's called Gab, G-A-B, and it's more or less a Twitter knockoff site that's for hate speech.
All the MAGA dorks, yeah.
It's got ties to neo-Nazi news sites like the Daily Stormer. It's like a place where people go because they think Twitter is,
for cucks.
It's for cucks, yeah. But basically, when you tie it to someone like this guy, who again he supports financially sites like Gab, you really start to tie QAnon for those who might have thought of it as being an interesting idea, really towards just another agenda towards spreading anti-Semitism and hate speech.
We always get there somehow.
Basically, if you aren't like, a really specific type of white person, these people hate you.
Well, what's the specific white person? Do we qualify? Are we safe from their wrath?
No, because we like everybody else.
Because and I can say this because we are this, because we're WAPs.
Possibly too, yeah. That might have something to do with it. I mean, they're not going to tell because I'm chalky white at first, but once they talk to me for a little while, they realize I'm not on their side, and then I'm an enemy.
They're going to know me right away. They're going to go, we smell the gabagool on his breath. This guy's
Is that garlic?
This guy's a meatball.
But, I'm not sure how they feel about the Irish either. So it's, again, maybe. I'm sure there's offshoots of them that are Irish, and they think they're the right ones. It's a funny world, isn't it? But so this is, I see it. It's a very specific world. You either ascribe to it or you don't. But so that I thought was particularly interesting. So if you ever hear anybody talking about QAnon, you can talk to them about Jim Watkins and why they're full of shit. These are the kind of people who propagated Pizzagate. You know what Pizzagate was?
Oh yeah,
it's the DC pizza place that they thought was involved in a high-level pedophile ring.
Covering up a pedophile ring.
Yeah, a guy showed up there with a gun.
He killed someone.
Yeah, trying to get into their basement, which they didn't have. Didn't exist. So
can you imagine? It's just Andrew Cuomo. He's like, please, it's my pizza place.
Can you imagine freaking out like I'm not trying to, put yourself in the shoes of a murderer, but imagine being the guy, how confused he was when he got there and could not find the basement that existed. Like,
well,
what a weird spiraling culture we live in now, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Well, and the people
years ago,
the people that set him on that path faced zero consequences.
Yeah, no, you're right. We're going down a really weird path in America. We don't necessarily need to talk about it too much.
No, but it's affecting our everyday thoughts because it's like I told you earlier. I was like, you want to hear something fucked up that I've been thinking about this week? Like it started as an idea for a skit, and I'm like, look at the way my brain works now because of this world. I was like, wouldn't it be funny if we did a skit that was like Jabba the Hutt from Star Wars? If Jabba's pleasure barge was like Jeffrey Epstein's plane, and Jabba was just running like a sex trafficking ring off Tatooine. Wouldn't that be funny? And then you realize, like, what's funny about that?
There's nothing funny about it. It'd be the most difficult joke to write ever because you would have to find a way of... I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, I think some of the best comedy comes from painful situations and being able to express yourself to, like, kind of work your way through them sometimes. I mean, look at Patton Oswalt. He does that a lot.
Doug Stanhope does a whole bit about helping his mom commit suicide.
Yeah. See? So it's like, again, it's the sort of thing that I see potentially happening, but it'd be a very difficult joke to write, I guess is what I'm trying to get at.
It would just be the most like insensitive thing ever unless we found a way to like turn the tables on the sex traffickers. But the idea of like Jabba as a rapist is like, that was implied with Leia in the metal bikini.
Well, yeah, and you have to end it with him getting murdered and then Republicans going, well, he killed himself.
Open and shut case.
That's it. And just like, what the fuck? I still don't know if I like that.
Actually, it would be pretty fucking funny to be like, what's a funny way to kill Jabba the Hutt that he couldn't do to himself because he's so fat?
Well, he killed himself with a big fucking chain, like
just strangles himself with the chain. Yeah,
we could modernize it up a little bit, and he gets shot like 30 times.
Oh my god,
it's really dark. Yeah, it's really dark.
Can you imagine if you shot Jabba the Hutt, what would come out?
Probably some sort of I imagine green goop of some kind.
It would be an egregious goo. I don't know.
Well, you wonder how. Like, here's the question: how did Jabba the Hutt poo?
I think he was just always shitting, and that was his little snail trail.
Is he himself his food? Like that Yar what you eat, but for Jabba, he really was. Like he was.
Is Jabba the Hutt not a giant pile of shit?
Does anyone out there not know Star Wars?
I'm so confused. I thought the Hutts were poops.
Yeah, just big the poo people of Tatooine.
They look like it. They look like the poop from Weird Science.
Crime
which I believe is the second
poops.
week in a row I've been able to reference that.
Wait, reference what?
The poo man from Weird Science. If you haven't seen the movie, Bill Paxton...
It's been so long since I watched Weird Science.
Yeah, some nerds basically conjure up an all-powerful genie who's super stacked and horny. And yeah, she uses her powers to turn one of the guy's brothers into a giant anthropomorphic turd.
What year did that come out?
In the 80s, of course.
It was back when they were like, that Tom Hanks, he's going to have a career as a party animal.
We got to beat that fucking werewolf movie where the guy hangs dong at the end. That thing was incredible. I mean, the whole movie was shit until you get to the end and someone's dick is out at the basketball game.
Yeah. Oh, it's so crazy.
I mean, it's a lost
History will
art.
edit these things out too, which is such a shame.
Well, I mean, yeah, and it used to be fun, cool shit like exposing yourself, but now it's just like Daenerys Targaryen forgot to bust her own Starbucks cup. It's in Game of Thrones, and they've since edited it out. I wish they hadn't. Leave that as a testimony, a monument to your own fucking failure.
Yeah, you failed. You fucked up. I thought you were going to go out on this whole thing about how like we don't get to see like Daenerys Targaryen boob anymore. I was like, but it's there in the earlier seasons. Don't worry, buddy. Also, the whole show turned out shit. So what are you talking about Game of Thrones for?
Well, it's very true. There's no need to revisit it. And you know, like, as far as the whole Daenerys Targaryen
One day they'll
goes,
put a dress on her and you'll go, son of a bitch. Fuck. I got the DVD somewhere.
That or they're like, it's actually more feminist to just digitally add more boobs on her. So she's just got like big teats.
That's what they just start doing in the future. 7-boobed Daenerys Targaryen.
An extra rack to
Draw
be
that one for the
super
Instagram.
feminist. 4-boobed Daenerys Targaryen.
Yeah, great.
And caption it, am I a feminist icon?
Next episode, we would be saying, well, we got our first email.
And it was a cease and desist from the estate of Amelia Clark.
Yeah, but we got to talk to her, and she called us some not very nice names.
She spit on us. It was so awesome.
Although it would be great. Wouldn't it be great to see you do her as the Total Recall? Is it Total Recall?
Total Recall, the three-breasted hooker, yeah.
Yeah, you do a drawing of Daenerys Targaryen as the prostitute from Total Recall.
That should be the YouTube album artwork for this week.
Boy.
100%.
That's going to be brutal. People are going to hate that.
Dude, I did Jamie Foxx holding up a piss specimen for the last one.
We did Rick Grimes shooting himself in the head.
I remember putting that one out. It immediately got like 5 likes, and I'm like, oh, okay. People really like the suicidal Rick Grimes, huh?
No.
Those were all 5 likes that picture got.
People did not like suicidal Rick Grimes, I guess.
We lost 2 followers.
Did we?
We sure did.
Okay, that's fair.
We were at 71, and then we dipped back down to 69.
Yeah, well, that's... I think we were at 68 the other day, so we might have lost more than that.
We're all over the place. You fluctuate. Instagram followers are like your weight. You just fluctuate.
Yeah.
By 20 or 30 pounds.
Well, listen, it's not like they were listening anyway, so fuck them.
Yeah.
We got 68 followers and 32 listens. I'm not a math man. But...
Hey, let's put it this way. If you got this far into the episode and you're a true believer, I want you to send me your favorite Adam Sandler meme. Just send it to me. Text it to me if you have my number. If you don't,
if you don't have a favorite Adam Sandler meme, you're dead to me.
Yeah, why are you listening to this show? Adam, this is a Happy Madison production.
Is it from Little Nicky? I bet it's from Little Nicky. Henry Winkler covered in bees.
No! Sorry, Henry.
That's mine for everybody, but I didn't show you. I told you about it.
Yeah.
It doesn't quite have the same oomph, but try to think about Henry Winkler getting covered in bees.
The majesty of beloved dyslexic actor Henry Winkler.
Did we talk about it on an episode before?
That he's dyslexic?
Yeah. How he used to have the lines read to him during Happy Days when he was the Fonz.
I don't know. I don't know if we did talk about that. I just know he's apparently like a super legit awesome dude. He's apparently one of the few celebrities who's not completely up his own ass.
Sure.
And is just nice as shit.
Well, he built his career from probably a difficult place, you know.
Hey, you're a dyslexic Italian. Think about that.
He probably had a fairly humbling start, you know, probably kept him fairly level-headed. You look at a lot of celebrities these days, we're like, oh, that's so-and-so's kid. Oh, they're great. Look at him do it. And you're like, well, it's great. Like, anyone who has years and years to work on a craft gets to do it. It's not like when you get to be like, well, I'm Maya Hawke, and I decided I wanted to make millions of dollars. Someone else would be like, well, no, I don't want to do that. Of course they're going to fucking take the chance if that was something that even moderately interested them. Oh, you get to be fucking nationally famous and go and do this thing and have this career and, you know, meet all these other amazing celebrities that this country very, very weirdly reveres.
But it was also just never not an option for her. No one was ever, it's like you're saying, no one was ever going to say, no, Maya, you have to go to school and you have to become a fucking veterinarian.
Yeah. Well, like, look at people like Nicolas Cage, good or bad. He
almost sexy cat.
Great Community reference. But if you look at someone like Nick Cage, where he like begged, you know, his uncle Francis Ford Coppola to get him into movies, begged him over and over until eventually, you know, he got his break. And you sit there and go, yeah, but once you hear that story, it kind of makes you like Nick Cage a little less, doesn't it? Like, sure, he's had a lot of time since then to do both really good and very confusing roles. but he, it kind of puts like a little asterisk next to him as far as I'm concerned. Like I like some of the stuff he's done, I really do, but I'm like, man, what other person would have had a career if they had been given the opportunities that he got because of who he was? It bums me out a little bit.
Well, unfortunately, that's not how the Hollywood star system works.
Well, it's like I know it's like this little community that you're either a part of or you're not in a lot of ways, and breaking into that bubble is very difficult. I mean, it's the same in a lot of other places. It's the same in theater. It's the same in a lot of entertainment.
Well, it is changing too, because if you look at like the Marvel movies, the attraction is the movie. It's the character, not necessarily like, holy shit, we're going to go see that new Tom Cruise movie.
And yet at the same time, it's Robert Downey Jr. and Iron Man. It's not Joe Schmo as Iron Man. It's Robert Downey Jr.
True, but he actually was not. I mean, Iron Man was a big gamble at that point. Robert Downey Jr. was like, hey guys, I know I used to get high on cocaine and crash cars and ice fountains.
Problem, yeah.
But I'm back. I'm on the herbal supplements. I take the super greens. I found Allah. And I don't think that's true, but we'll attribute it to him anyway. And I'm ready to get back in the pictures. And they go, well, no one calls them pictures anymore, Robert. But, okay, we've got this thing. It's called Iron Man. And he's like, okay, yeah, all right, I can do the Iron Man movie.
Sure.
And then it becomes this like
Smash
massive sleeper hit because he's great in it. He's great. He's a great Tony Stark. He's very charismatic.
Yeah, no, he does a great job. I wasn't bringing him up as a point to say like, oh, well, there could have been a better person to play that, but because he fucking killed it.
No, but
you get what I'm saying.
I'll put it this way. I think the last living movie star right now, like movie star, is Tom Cruise. That to me, you will go see a movie because he's in it, or you won't because you hate him, and he's a crazy Scientologist. He's the number 2 man in Scientology. Remember that when you go buy tickets to his shit.
What a draw. That's kind of painted 2 different pictures there for me.
If you're thinking about buying The Mummy on VOD,
I don't know,
because that's going right into Shelley Miscavige's pocket.
I mean, you got to ask yourself, like, what makes a really good actor? I mean, there's people out there, like, even though we hated the movie, I see, like, Joseph Gordon-Levitt as being a good actor.
He's a good actor.
I see, Jamie Foxx as being a good actor. Again, good, not great. The last great actor was obviously, I think, Daniel Day-Lewis. I don't think there'll ever be a better actor than him. I don't think, or that anyone will ever take it more seriously. That's not
young De Niro took it seriously.
True,
but I think
old De Niro phoned that shit in.
Yeah, old De Niro doesn't have the fucking magic anymore. But the last good thing he did was Silver Linings Playbook. If you liked The Irishman, you're wrong. It sucked.
Yeah, you're right. Silver Linings Playbook was pretty good, though. Yeah,
that was the last good De Niro. And that was the only Bradley Cooper serious Bradley Cooper that I loved. He's obviously fantastic in the Wet Hot American Summer series.
Yeah, I was going to say, what about Wet Hot American Summer? But that's where he started.
And shit like Wedding Crashers, he's the bad guy.
You didn't like him in Limitless?
You know how they say that we only use 10% of our brains?
What if you could access the rest of it? Here's this bill.
What if, you remember when Paul McCartney was in the Beatles? It was awesome.
Hot take, I liked the TV show that they canceled.
Really? Never watched it.
Oh yeah, it was cheese to like the nth degree. Again, it reminded me of like what the later 2000s did with like the 90s day TV show kind of feel. Like it was weird. It was like,
you talking about like Buffy?
Like it can't be not even like Buffy. I mean like King of Queens almost. If that hadn't been like a fucking
no, it was a
TV show sitcom.
It was, so it's not a multi. Yeah, I was gonna say it's not a like multi-cam sitcom.
No, it's not a multi-cam sitcom. I get like I'm not talking about in terms of how they shot it. I'm talking about in terms of how it was written.
Jesus,
it was great. I love it.
Well, and the guy in it, guess what show he's on? What We Do in the Shadows.
Really?
Yeah, he's on a couple episodes.
Oh, very interesting.
That show is really funny. Have you watched?
You repping What We Do in the Shadows? Yeah, I've watched a couple of episodes.
Dude,
I thought it was pretty funny. And again, I would have probably kept watching it, but
I'll get you that Hulu password. You got to watch it. Y'all out there, you got to watch it. I'm convinced Matt Berry.
Matt Berry's fantastic.
He might be the funniest guy in the world in the sense that I laugh at everything he says. When he's you talk about the last finest actor. I think he's our last finest actor and comedian, Matt Berry. And you cretins have never even fucking heard of him.
Matt Berry's fantastic. He's definitely a step above a lot of, people who pass themselves in. There's a lot of really crappy comedy movies and television out these days. Like, look at, again, Big Bang Theory. If you like Big Bang Theory, it's like, I'm not trying to argue with you, but you're wrong. It's Oh, you want to know what the problem with Big Bang Theory is like most laugh track shows, they're telling you when you should find the line funny or not, you know? Like that's
The big problem with the Big Bang Theory is it's fucking soulless. And even when they have like an emotional moment where the characters get married, it's all following all the beats. Nothing is ever in question. Everyone ends up happily ever after. It follows a very familiar set. This is why I borderline failed the sitcom class in grad school.
Oh, really? Because you tried to make them different?
Because I was like, I want to write something that's not shit. And basically the professor, in not so many words, was like, here's the ugly truth about sitcoms. They're all shit. So write the lowest common denominator dum-dum jokes, and you'll have a hit. Oh, hello, Penny. I'm just trying out my new quasar locator. Well, hopefully it can help you locate a date, Sheldon.
You should write cue
Bazinga.
laugh track, yeah. Bazinga. She's like, no, actually, I wrote this one where they all end up dead.
But it's a rice cake. It's just like something you just chew on, the Big Bang Theory. It's not actually satisfying or nourishing in any way.
No, it's there to take up a half hour of your life.
Yeah.
More like 23 minutes, honestly, because it was made for commercials as well.
So you can buy some Pepsi and some laundry detergent while you're watching your old pal Sheldon.
Yep.
He's on the Big Bang Theory. And then you can watch young Sheldon.
They got a lot out of that. That's what they like, though. That's what they like.
Hard Times News on Instagram had a fucking hilarious meme. They were like, new spinoff coming, Dead Sheldon. And it was just an old guy in a coffin.
Just a corpse. Actually, you know what the funny thing is that would get my view. I'd watch the one and only episode of that show.
Oh, yeah.
It's just his funeral.
Or it runs for like 8 seasons. It's just kooky shit that happens with his body as it just slowly deteriorates in the
Jesus
coffin.
Christ. I don't know if they'd let us get away
By
with that.
the last season, it's just mush in a box.
Well, I think about that too, though. I'd be like, they would never let you get away with that. Like, I would love to do the episode Dead Sheldon, where it's just his funeral, and you just do the same jokes that the Big Bang Theory did in a funeral theme, and they would hate us forever.
We're gathered here today, Bazinga. Laugh track, laugh track, laugh track.
Yeah,
The corpse rolls out of the coffin. Blam.
laugh track. You just do, like, you count it up, and like, half the show is a laugh track. Just 2 pages of writing.
Just unnecessarily, just like stretches where no one's saying anything and all you hear is just laugh track, piped over static footage of the body in the coffin.
Sheldon falls out of the coffin and hits onto his chest, which causes him to fart.
He's just leaking formaldehyde.
Yeah.
Ah, ah.
It kills all of his friends in the front row. I don't want to spoil it for everyone, but everyone dies.
If David Lynch would direct Dead Sheldon,
We'd make so much money.
it would be a guaranteed hit.
Oh my God. So much cash. Oh, it's terrible. That's the worst thing I ever fucking heard. We went from QAnon to Dead Sheldon. You notice that? That was
It's all connected, man.
that was a lovely arc.
This podcast is the only podcast with Q level clearance.
Brought to you by Dead Sheldon.
Tuesdays this fall.
We're gonna we're gonna do one of those pointless internet like why am I forgetting the word for this right now? We gotta get a poll going to see how many people want Dead Sheldon.
Yeah. Oh,
We're gonna
yeah.
get people to sign whatever that thing is to send to CBS.
Oh, a petition.
Petition. Thank you. Why did I space on the word petition?
Oh, Rory.
I'm dying.
Time to start taking some omega 3s.
I had to take some mind pills.
Take some alpha brain.
3 weeks later, it's like, hey, those weren't mind pills. I was speed. I got some I just bleeding out my nose. Rory, you don't look good at all.
Is your septum deviated?
Let's get
It looks
10,000 people to sign a petition for Dead Sheldon. See, I remember the word this week. Pep pills are working. Smash my head down on the table.
I'm not going to stop eating eggs until we get Dead Sheldon on the air. Just cramming uncooked eggs in your mouth.
You got to cook those first, Rory. Not enough time.
That's just something that the liberal cucks want you to think. By the way, I'm hard right now.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
By the way, Eurotrash Rory, big hit in the community.
Oh, yeah? Eurotrash Rory was a big
Yeah.
hit. Great. That makes me feel super good.
I'm just saying, you have options.
Is that everyone was saying? I think that's their way of saying that they want to see me in a Speedo. Because if you want to see me in a Speedo, we're all getting together at friend of the pod Dante's house Wednesday night at 10 p.m. when him and his wife have gone to sleep, and we're going to have a Euro Rager out in the back of their house.
Their baby is going to be DJing.
Yes, it's going to be DJ Baby. She's so good, DJ.
DJ Baby's so hot, I don't even care that he shits in his own pants.
And so we're all going to hang out, and I'll be in my dong satchel. So if you guys all want to...
if you want to see that, send Rory, if you've got his number, pictures of the Speedo you'd like him to wear. Or send it to our Instagram or our Gmail.
Oh, boy.
But pick out an outfit for Rory.
That's the first thing we end up getting. I'll just wear the thing from Borat.
That yellow thing? Yeah.
Yellow.
You wear like a fucking white mesh tank top over it.
Oh, that's good.
So hot today.
Just walk-
Gotta stay cool.
Just like I've got a bucket and a ladle, and I'm just pouring water on myself.
Inside their house. On the fucking floor in the living
You
room.
gotta go, man. I just walk through downtown like that. It's not illegal if I don't undress. Technically, that's true in Vermont. You can be naked outside as long as you don't undress.
Huh.
Yeah, that's why people get away with mowing the lawn naked.
That's why we got away with the naked bike ride.
Yeah, exactly.
At the end of every semester.
Because you can't undress outside. You just have to walk out of your domicile naked, or in whatever state of clothing that you wish. So, I mean, they'd probably ask you to leave the city center.
Sir, you need to get out of Walgreens.
Yeah, I'm sorry. They can refuse your service, and they have. Thank you for wearing the mask, though. Those are lovely.
Do you sell those on Etsy? Never mind. You don't have a card on you, I can tell.
Oh, was that a Bane mask? Oh, that's so fun.
Nobody cared who I was until I walked into this Walgreens naked in a Bane mask.
Sure, your balls are showing.
I shaved them.
Yeah. Actually, I nailed them. It hurt.
I should get Manscaped. Get 20% off with the code Skimbo.
They said that. You're not supposed to nair your balls. And I don't.
You are 100% not supposed to nair
What's
your
the
balls.
deal with that? Do you know the science behind that? Just curious.
Would you like the science behind nair? I put it on my fucking armpits once, and it gave me chemical burns.
Is it really that? So it just like burns your fucking skin.
Well, it just dissolves like protein, essentially.
So
So
your
it
skin
kills the hair, but it because the
Takes a layer
the
with it.
skin under my arms was so moist, it just sloughed like a whole layer off. They were terrible, like red chemical burns. I had a date that night.
Why did you nair your armpit?
Because I had a date that night.
So you thought you got hairy pits.
I don't know.
I don't want to date you anymore.
No, sometimes I'll just do something stupid because I'm fucking a bipolar moron.
Yeah.
I'll just be like,
my
I'm gonna
eyebrow.
shave just my left leg.
Yeah, I got my left eyebrow shaved because she's not gonna like that.
Or she's going to respect this choice. No, it was just like a dumb thing. I was like, I don't know, fuck it. It'll be a conversation piece to have hairless armpits if you get that far.
Yep.
As it turns out, we were not compatible. So
Turns out you didn't get that far.
There was no toe curling.
It's okay. It was fine. You needed to go back and apply ointment to your underarms.
I straight up
because
told her, I was like, listen, I did a really dumb thing.
I gotta leave.
I nared my armpits, and she was like, oh, God, that was stupid. I go, no, that wasn't even the stupid thing. I nared my armpits, and then I wore a sweater on this date. So now I've got sweater hairs and my open chemical burns under my arms.
Yeah.
This is really painful. You're a nurse. Can you do anything about this?
She's like, this date isn't working for me. I need to leave.
Well, she did. She was like, well, I don't want to have dinner, but I will definitely help you dress your chemical burns. And then you need to leave.
You were at her place.
Yes.
You went to her place for food.
In New Hampshire.
You could have been an axe murderer.
So could she, and I think we just both rolled those dice.
I think
this
you
was a while
realized
ago.
that. I think when she was like, wow, this guy gave himself chemical burns. Maybe I should have thought about this a little better. She didn't invite anyone else over after that happened. You realize that became a date 3 thing. We're meeting somewhere for drinks first, which became exceedingly difficult now in the post-COVID world. She was like, let's go on a hike. And that's where she got axe murdered because she went on a hike with a stranger in the middle of the wilderness.
She's just living her truth, man.
Very easily murdered out in the woods.
Especially where she lived out in like the sticks in New Hampshire. It was kind of a drive.
Out in New Hampshire, you would have been rolled into a swamp, and that was it.
Yeah. Hell, she could have just left me propped up on her fucking couch for weeks. Mm-hmm. No one would have known.
She's like, want some more mashed peas, Alex? She's smashing you in the face with a spoon.
My jaw just falls off.
She's broken all of your teeth because they were very frustrated. When you died, your jaw snapped down hard. So she had to smash all your teeth out so she could get the peas into your mouth. Eventually, that's when the bugs came in and started eating. So you basically, your whole upper mouth is just like this fucking petri dish.
Just a beehive.
Yes.
I just have a bee beard on my throat.
Yeah.
Time to change your dressings. And she
was-
just pulls gauze out of the hole in my arms.
Yeah, exactly.
That's hot, dude.
That's your life. You basically got Ed Kempered as she cuts your head off to have sex with it.
Hey, listen, I wasn't not interested in her. I just was like, I can't focus on anything other than how bad this hurts.
I
And you
can't
are a
focus on
nurse, so I
burns.
know you have the shit here. So I'm going to trade in the sex chips for medical assistance, and I'm okay with that.
And that's
live to
why
fight another day.
You are a pragmatist. Well done. Well, we got to look at this realistically and realize I'm going to have a really hard time getting home if she doesn't dress my wounds.
I'm going to pass out at the wheel.
Darling.
Or she's going to get my shirt off and go, why do you look like you have Deadpool in a headlock?
Oh my God,
under
you're
both
bleeding.
arms?
Yeah. I've been bleeding all night out of my armpits. Help me.
Jesus wept. It's okay. This is hot for me.
Yeah. But then it turns out she's into that sort of thing. And
She's
she
throwing
kills you.
salt in my armpits.
Oh, God.
She's like, no, just kidding. This is an amuse-bouche. I am going to kill you and then fuck you.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, every episode it seems to come back to how I just want to get killed and then fucked in that order.
Yeah, well, because it's fine. Because again, the human erection, as Clerks told me, can maintain for 6 hours after death. Thanks,
very
Clerks. So
Thanks, Kevin Smith.
they kill you when you're ready, and then they just bang you for a good 6 hours. And then there's the remorse period where they vomit all over your body, and then they drag you out into the woods and bury you. Because it's New Hampshire again.
She shame jerks it at the grave one more time.
Yeah.
Because you can't help yourself at that point. There's a vomit-covered corpse that you had sex with.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
And then
all you.
After a certain point, after that, she does it a couple more times. You know, serial killer stuff. Really, really dark stuff.
Just a mass grave of dudes with boners.
Yeah, she just she keeps something of yours as a trophy. I don't know what it is. Here's my favorite Depeche Mode album. I brought it for some reason. I don't know.
I stole the best of bread tape that he had in his car.
Something weird like that.
She's just eating raisin
I kept
bran
a
out
lock
of
of
my
his
skull.
hair, and every year on the anniversary of when she kills you, she cuts a little bit of your hair and like grinds it into her food and eats it. A part of your essence is always with me.
I'm going to grow a new him in my tummy.
Yeah, just really dissociative stuff. So you got that to look forward to.
She sounds happy.
Yeah, for a while.
Yeah, until they come and take her away.
Until she has to do it again, and you know, Hip to Be Square is playing, and she.
Old crazy fat Ethel's going down this time.
Yep. Yeah. So that's nice.
It's a beautiful thing.
Again, the future is only looking up for you.
So bright, I got to wear shades. And not just because you have to do a weekend at Bernie's type thing with me to avoid murder charges sticking.
And not just because, you know, the upshot of where we are right now is being murdered in the woods. That's the up. Yeah, that's great.
I'll take my chances.
Somebody wants to murder me. I'm special.
Well, don't I just feel like the belle of the ball?
Well, you're a little desperate now. You're like, no, wait, no.
No, please. You're a bitch.
Yeah.
Women are stupid.
I've got so much to live for.
He's a misogynist, huh?
It's a little too late, I think. I don't know. She uncuffs you. Son of a bitch. I did it again. I kept myself from being murdered again.
I just want a nice lady to kill me and fuck me. Is that such a...
Why do you keep
problem?
doing this?
You're so stupid.
Well, I gotta go. Yeah.
That'd actually be an amazing skit. If it's just a dude at his house, it's just like a young kid.
He's really
and
good
he's
at
like
picking murderers.
putting on a tuxedo and a corsage and shit. And there's this hopeful like prom night kind of music playing. And it just shows him going to driving his car to some farm in the backwoods. And he meets his date at the door, and she's like, "Oh, are you ready?" And he's like, oh, "I've been waiting for this moment my whole life." She just takes him out back and shoots him with a shotgun.
Jesus Christ. I thought we were going to do the thing we just talked about. That was a twist. That was a plot twist even for me.
What? Do what we just talked? You mean?
Yeah, being like she was gonna murder him, and he's like excited about it. So she's like, "Nah, I don't wanna," and he's all very desperate. No, but him getting shot out back.
Oh,
is
I
also
think
pretty funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The skit needs to have a happy ending, so he needs
it's
to
a
get
funny
murdered.
thing because you think they're going to prom, but really he was just going to his murder, his execution that I don't know. I assume he paid for on Craigslist.
It's just a quick bite. It's just like you'd put it on Quibi.
Yeah.
You know, because so many people use Quibi. Boy, they were really banking on the subways being a thing for the rollout of Quibi, and let me tell you.
I don't even know what Quibi is.
It's this dumb streaming platform that only does like 10-minute max episodes so you can have TV shows in digestible bites. So it's made to be watched on your commute.
So, I see. It's for that for people with low attention spans.
What do you do if you have a 25-minute commute? You're going to watch 2.5 episodes.
Listen, I've got a 60-minute idea, and I want 6 episodes. You're hired.
Anna Kendrick's in one of them.
That's great. I already love Quibi now.
Do you know what the premise of the show is, too?
Sadness and despair.
It was created by Dan Harmon's girlfriend, and it's about how she, in real life, found his sex doll in the closet.
And started talking to it.
And went to her therapist and was like, "I don't like the sex doll." And her therapist was like, "Hey, maybe if you like deal with this in your writing as a writer, It'll help you feel better about it. So then she like anthropomorphized however you say it, the sex doll, and made a Quibi show about it.
And it stars Anna Kendrick.
And my man Donald Logue plays Dan Harmon.
Oh, that's fun.
Isn't that fun?
Yeah, it sounds like a great...
And the sex doll can talk, Rory.
Oh, boy.
And it makes hilarious jokes about feminism.
I'm not sure if that one's for me. I don't... Not even that it's not necessarily a good idea, and I love Anna Kendrick in pretty much anything. But...
you just want her to have sex with a sex doll.
Oh, I'm just not sure I need to... Maybe. I'm not sure I need to process that sort of thing in my life. I'm not going through anything like that. Like, this really resonates with me, you know?
The only interesting thing they could do with it is if they had a literal fuck object becoming a feminist icon. If that's the way they go with...
I don't think they're going that
the
way.
Sex doll, how to like teach how the sex doll can teach the real woman something about self-respect and feminism and something like that. That's interesting. But it sounds like they're just going to drink mimosas and get into a car wreck in Arizona or something like that. Because a lot of the footage seems to be them on the side of the road trying to flag down a tow truck.
You think it's just her having zany adventures with a sex doll?
I think so.
Okay, I might watch that.
We're very different people.
It's a little different now. It's not what I thought that was going to be.
No, I don't know. I don't
Anna
have
Kendrick
Quibi.
processing her feelings about dating Dan Harmon. That's when it's in 10-minute bites because you really can't get much more real than that.
He's so
they throw in a
gross.
sex doll.
Covered in spider bites. Why?
Yeah, he's worth $7 million.
You're rich. Why are you like this?
You could eat good food and like treat yourself well. And
Dude, he's fucking gross as shit. He used to put his workouts on Instagram Live.
isn't he dating a gorgeous 20-something-year-old?
I don't know how old Cody Heller is. I don't know. But she's not... I don't think
She's
it's the
not
same
in her
age
40s.
gap as when he married Aaron. Sorry, we're getting deep into Dan Harmon.
Yeah, we're going into Dan Harmon world. Anyways, what were you saying?
What was I? Oh, he used to do his gross workouts on Instagram Live, and all he didn't do anything other than hit the elliptical at a brisk pace, and he's just immediately sweating through his Teen Wolf sweater vest.
That's incredible.
Fucking fur.
That's 'cause oh, okay.
He's got a because he's an alcoholic, so he's got a gigantic gut. Just all that visceral fat around his organs.
Yep.
Just a huge Randy from Trailer Park Boys ball gut.
Yeah, I'm working on that myself.
And
Love
then
them
like
beers.
stringy Jack Nicholson hair and a Randy Quaid beard. He kind of looks like a little Randy Quaid.
I could see that.
A little bit.
I can see a little Randy
Just a
Quaid in there.
bearded psychopath.
Guys, look up Randy Quaid. If you don't know what Randy Quaid looks like right now, just do it.
Fucking look up Dan Harmon while you're at it and tell us if you think it's an apt comparison.
Tell us if you think we're wrong. I think that's pretty good. Yeah, that's not bad.
It was pretty fucking gross, man. I gotta tell you.
Yeah, I believe it. But again, he's a really good writer. He can die how he wants.
I guess so.
That's what's happening. That's what's going to happen to him.
You know, he's gonna die on an elliptical machine, and I'm gonna get murdered and fucked by an insane nurse who lives in the mountains of New Hampshire.
This is fun. How am I going to die? I'm gonna get eaten by vampires. Not even turned. They're just going to drain me of my essence and kill me.
I can see you getting a guest starring role on season 3 of What We Do in the Shadows, and you're playing a vampire character, and the other vampire characters invite you out for a night on the town. It's Matt Berry and the other people whose names I don't know because I stand Matt Berry. But they all take you out, and they're like, well, we know this very exclusive club, and like we want to talk to you about your process. You're doing such a good job playing a substitute teacher who's secretly a vampire. These are the complexities of the show. Don't overthink it too much.
All right, great.
So they take you out, and you're at this club, and it's like the club from the beginning of Blade, where the sprinklers turn on, and all of a sudden it's just raining blood. And you notice everyone's got their mouth open. And that's just an amuse-bouche. You, my friend, are the main course. And then all the vampire actors in New York City fucking eat you.
That sounds great.
And you die on Staten Island.
That's horrible. That's not as cool.
It's amazing how that one thing can ruin it.
Yeah, you did it. Well done.
That's how I see it going.
Ah, wonderful. And then he eats me. That's great. I'm like, well, there's my 15 minutes of fame.
Take your fangs out of my neck, Matt Berry.
Turns out the whole show's real. Matt Berry's a vampire.
That's what I'm saying. They're all vampires.
Yeah, okay. That's how I literally die. That's
Yeah.
nice. Yeah.
It's a little meta. I want you to have kind of a funky meta death. And if you guys don't know what meta fiction is, I can't help you.
No, there's no helping anyone. There's no helping anyone anymore in the wasteland.
I read about it in a book.
How
long have we been going?
Are you reading the dictionary? We've been going for about, 48 minutes, 49 minutes.
Like to break a mental sweat sometimes, too.
It's been pretty good. We've been rambling for a while.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you want to chat about? Any crazy things in the back of your mind? Feel like S and Matt Berry's D anymore in there? You can go ahead and do it.
How dare you?
Dude, you gotta
Fuck
watch
you.
that. You guys all have to watch that show. It's fucking amazing. The only other thing I can think of is what I was telling you about earlier. And I don't know what got us on the conversation, so it feels weird to inorganically jump into it.
Which one was this?
We were talking about... okay. Now I know the whole thing.
Oh, God.
We were hanging out in my home gym. No big deal, you guys. I have a home gym. It's top of the line, sophisticated stuff. I definitely haven't broken one of the plates because it was so badly rusted.
Nice.
But at any rate, so we're hanging out in there, and I have a poster of Ronda Rousey up there. And we were both admiring what a fetching specimen she was back in the early aughts.
Sure, yeah.
And
no shame in that.
You brought up how you heard a rumor that, or she gave an interview or something where before a big fight, to let off some of that pent-up aggression and to kind of get her head straight.
Ula like to have sex.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's sort of like, they say like zenning out a professional athlete, like go ahead and beat off in the dugout.
Yeah.
All the MLB players do it.
Sure.
They-
You watch them. You watch them. They aren't looking the right way towards that national anthem.
No.
Go on. It's so awful.
Don't kneel for the flag and definitely don't jerk off in front of it.
Don't you beat off as your pregame ritual, Joey. I know you're going to go pitch a no-hitter.
But yeah, so she was talking about her pre-ritual was to get her head on straight for a fight.
Sure.
Was to fuck.
Sure.
And I had I'm cursed with unfortunate knowledge about something similar about the opera singer Luciano Pavarotti.
Oh, God, Pavarotti.
He had two traditions before he would go on stage for a performance.
Now,
One of them was...
Pavarotti's a famous opera singer. Go ahead.
Yeah, Luciano Pavarotti, big, giant, fat, disgusting, greasy, talented angel. Just wonderful Italian man. He, before he would go on for any performance, had to go somewhere in the theater and find a bent nail and pull it out. And if he couldn't do that, he wouldn't go on. Mm-hmm. So I think the smart play, and I think what a lot of people did, was put one in for him to find. But that wasn't his only pre-show tradition.
What was his other pre-show tradition?
Well, like Ronda Rousey, Pavarotti liked to fuck.
So he would just sleep with someone before performing?
Well, the story I got was
I guess that's what that means.
Well, yeah, exactly. Well, because the story that it was handed down to me was my voice teacher, who used to work in New York City and knew like a bunch of famous fucking opera singers.
He used to have some real clout.
He had a lot of connections, yeah. And he knew a soprano who was doing some show with Pavarotti, and she's like, yeah, I sucked his dick before the show. And she wasn't even like, it wasn't like he forced her to do it. He just legitimately asked her, like, hey, what do you think about, and he's Italian, so I'm sure it sounded really charming when he said it.
What about some fellatio?
Maybe some fellatio before the show. But yeah, he propositioned her, and she was all about it. She's like, yeah, I sucked the sorrow out of Luciano Pavarotti, and then we both went out and sang the best show of our lives.
It's such a weird thing to think about. Because again, I understand like there's a lot of celebrity worship, and I'm not sitting here being like, yeah, there's a lot of celebrities that if they were like, what do you think about John on my box before we go do this scene? I'd be like, yeah, I think I'm going to do that. I'd be like, okay, yeah. But then when it comes to it being like, if it was like some really, like if Roseanne Barr was like, hey, what do you think about having sex with my asshole? I'd be like, no, I don't think I'm going to do that.
What, I'll get you back after the show.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying? Like if that was what, like someone like Roseanne Barr makes a pass at you. Or again, let's go ahead and say someone with I would say that there's a pretty apt comparison between Pavarotti and Roseanne Barr in attractiveness.
Just put a beard on Roseanne and you've got Pavarotti.
But so think of someone like that, but with a better personality, who's a celebrity. If they made a pass at you, are you going to do it? I get it. They're super charming though. Maybe like that surpasses it. I mean, someone with that kind of Pavarotti charm.
It depends. The thing is, I think in this situation, it wasn't like Pavarotti did this to an ingenue. I think this was a woman who'd been around the block.
Sure.
And was like, hey, it's just two strangers borrowing friction. So.
Yeah, I guess.
And apparently he sat on a stool to do it, and she had to lift his gut up like she was pitching a fucking pup tent.
Yeah, see, that's exactly what I'm talking about.
To get to his willy. See, the only person
Oh, there it is.
I can think of, and it's kind of mean, and I don't mean for it to, because I'm sure the wrong person. Remember, this is a comedy show.
Sure.
This is a comedy show, and the message at
I'm just
the
saying
end
I
of
wouldn't
this.
suck Pavarotti's dick.
No, nor would I. But you asked like what celebrity? I don't.
Is there like an ugly celebrity or like I would hit that?
I hate to be mean, but I think Precious, Gabourey Sidibe,
Right.
fits the traditional definition of, maybe not a 10.
Dance carefully.
I'm dancing on the head of the pin
Look at you go.
because this is a comedy show, and this has a positive message at the end, which is here's the thing: I'm not attracted to Gabourey Sidibe, but if she was like, "Listen, I'm a celebrity, and you should probably have sex with me," I'm gonna take her at her word and do it
Yeah, that's what you're gonna do.
because I'm a soldier.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I would.
I respect
sure I
that.
would.
I respect that. Remember that I'm depraved and I'm trying to die.
Yeah, that's true.
So, maybe she's like, you didn't fuck me good enough. Just stabs me in the neck with a ballpoint
Maybe
pen.
she's a shitty person. You never know.
Maybe.
And again, I feel like there's so many propositions like that. We're like, hey, pretty famous. You should probably do what I want. I'm probably like, it's kind of fucked up.
Now that sounds like Patrick Warburton, and I know you'd have sex with him.
Listen, Patrick Warburton has lovely eyes.
Hey,
He's just sitting across the room staring at you. Hey,
you
want to see my poop sack?
you want to have sex or something? I don't know.
I just got propositioned by Brock Sampson.
What's with the dude?
uh,
What about Steven Seagal?
Steven Seagal, he's a big lad. Again, my favorite thing we always talk about is how I want to end a movie with Steven Seagal, where he's like, "Well, my work here is done. Where are you going? Where?" And he just turns, and the shot's just him, and he's become a walrus. Yeah, and he just waddles himself into the sea.
Crashes into the surf.
Yeah, I think that'd be. I'll say it. I'm going to say that every episode from now on.
Or it's the end of the Free Willy where he tries to jump the kid.
We talked about this last episode.
But
Yeah,
he doesn't clear it, and he just
crushes
knocks the
to death.
kid. Yeah.
We're in a loop. We're in a loop.
We didn't talk about this last
It
time.
was the last episode or the episode before it.
No, this was a while ago.
We've talked about it before, though.
Sure, but it was a
We're
while
spinning.
ago.
We're spiraling.
Shit, stick and move, stick and move.
Oh my
You
God.
guys remember when we used to say that on the podcast? Huh? Stick and move.
I was thinking like ugly celebrities more like Maggie Gyllenhaal. Anyways.
Yo, Maggie Gyllenhaal, controversial take, maybe or maybe not. I think she's more beat than Precious.
Yeah, of course she is. She's way less attractive. She's...
If you Google sad turtle, Maggie Gyllenhaal comes up.
Yeah.
That's a shoot.
Maggie Gyllenhaal's famous because of familial ties. Again, getting back to that.
Who was their father?
I can't remember. I know he's someone.
Or
Jacob.
that was sexist of me to assume it couldn't be their mother.
I can't remember who it was. We can look this up and find out. But just take our words for it instead. It's again, it might not be like that. It might just be they come from families that just like allow them to do it. Like again, Nick Kroll's family is not in the celebrity world, but like upon looking, you're like, well, he didn't have to fucking do anything else. He's comes from billions of dollars.
Yeah.
So it could have been that could be the Gyllenhaal line as well. It's like, well, they're fucking from a long line of people who own horse groomer stables.
I don't know. Gyllenhaal,
Thoroughbreds or
are they
something.
German by way of Argentina? You know what I'm saying?
We had a lot of gold. I'm not going to say who stamped it.
Not going to say that Pop Pop didn't speak English and didn't speak Spanish, and we lived in Santiago. So, Werner Gyllenhaal
Yeah. Changed it to Jake.
screamed in his sleep.
Oh, God. We're not saying that the Gyllenhaal's lineage comes from Nazis.
I'm not saying that.
But maybe you should look it up. I don't know who his family is, but I know it's something. He has some connection.
I don't know.
Yep.
What a depressing downgrade that was when Katie Holmes, who isn't even that hot, she's cute. She's the girl next door.
Mm-hmm.
But what a downgrade from Katie Holmes in Batman Begins to Maggie Gyllenhaal
Was that a
in The Dark
contractual
Knight.
thing? She's like, I started dating Tom Cruise and he said not to do it.
It might have been when the Tom Cruise shit, either when she was entering the relationship or leaving the relationship and thereby Scientology. I do not know. I do not know the timeline.
Fucked up the Christopher Nolan series. And they're like,
That's why they killed that character
blow
off.
her up.
Like, fuck.
Blow her up.
She already looks like the one with half a face, so.
Rachel! I don't know, man. It's I don't particularly like her acting. Maybe that's half of it.
Yeah, it's shitty actress. She's a putz.
She's not good at
She's
all.
a lady putz.
I'm trying to think of who's a good example of someone who's like not classically attractive, but all celebrities are attractive in some way.
Yeah, I mean, good luck with that.
Really, except for Maggie Gyllenhaal. Terrible. That's awful. You never know.
Not classically attractive. Now, there's a challenge, Rory, because it implies attractive. Just
Well,
not classically so.
It's a subjective thing too in a lot of ways. It's like, who's an unattractive actor?
Tilda Swinton's a little ghoulish. This just feels mean at this point, but whatever.
I'd probably sleep with Tilda Swinton.
I wouldn't know where you started and Tilda Swinton began.
Just two sticky people going at it.
Oh, hello.
Yeah.
Oh, no, they're merging like an Akira.
Oh my God, they've set the building on fire.
Jesus.
We weren't even having sex. We're just both secretly arsonists.
Helena Bonham Carter.
I think Tilda Swinton comes from royal family.
Does she?
She might be like
A royal family?
She might be like secretly a duchess.
Yeah, wouldn't surprise me.
I think Tilda Swinton too. I think again, it's everyone. Helena Bonham Carter, absolutely.
Well, what do you think about her for unconventionally attractive?
Oh, after she did that part in Fight Club, I was all about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They cut an amazing, or maybe they didn't. I don't know. I haven't watched it in a long time. But there was an amazing line originally in Fight Club. I'm going to fuck it up now, but it was something along the lines of like after they fucked for the first time, she was like, oh, this is going to be an amazing abortion or something like that.
Yeah, she said that, and the other fucked up line she said was, I haven't been fucked like this since grade school.
Oh, yeah, that's the other good one.
Yeah, which are both like, Jesus Christ, that's fucked up.
That's Chuck Palahniuk.
Yeah, it's a really dark play.
That guy's a real sick twist.
She's a great fucking actress. She's fantastic. But again, it got her leg up because she's married to a famous director.
Tim Burton.
Yep.
What a hack he turned into.
Cast her in a bunch of shit, and she went off. She became fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, she's good. I haven't seen her in anything.
Wasn't she in The King's Speech? Wasn't that her? Isn't she? She does a pretty good job in that.
Who was she in The King's Speech?
The wife.
Jeffrey Rush's wife?
I believe so.
Or was she the
No,
queen?
She was the queen. I think she was the queen.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that one in a while. Saw it once and went, okay.
Fairly dry.
Now you can tell everyone you saw it.
Still, it's fairly dry.
You keep your credentials as a film buff.
Good characters, though.
Yeah.
Look at us. Yeah, I don't know. I think that's... No, see, and again, I think she's fairly attractive, too.
But conventionally so?
Well, she's not, like Giselle Bundchen, who I think sometimes looks rather mannish.
See, the whole, like, chiseled Teutonic
Yeah, I don't
blonde
get it.
goddess thing doesn't do it for me.
No, I don't get it either. I'm sort of more of a manic pixie dream girl thing, which is why when, you throw someone random like that who's willing to do some weird fucked up movie like Fight Club, I'm like, I'm all about that. That's great.
Can you imagine Zooey Deschanel in Fight Club?
Yeah, see? Yeah,
First rule of Fight Club is I knit you a sweater.
Just a quirky plummets in the box office. No one ever hears about it again.
We
Fades
didn't
into
want
obscurity.
this remake. With her and the actor who plays Sheldon as Tyler Durden. Bazinga.
I think that might be it. We got to get that one to Adam Sandler. He can make that. And that'll be the worst film. Like, listen, there's that, and there's also interdimensional pedophiles join ISIS.
Jesus, boys, I don't know which one to make first.
Yeah.
What about Billy Madison 2?
We're like, we've got an idea for that as well.
It's a 3-picture deal with Happy Madison.
They'd be like, wow, these are the worst pieces of shit to ever dawn theater. And in 20 years, they rate us as geniuses years
Sandler's
after our
just
suicides.
Crying. He's like, I love these guys so much. They get how little I want to work.
All right, the first one, we're setting it in Aruba.
Ooh, shabadoo.
Love that.
Rababoo.
All right.
Adam, no gibberish at the meeting, please.
Yeah, can you? All right, sorry.
Sorry, guys. I don't know. I'm still pretty hung up on this unconventionally attractive celebrity thing. Maybe we need to think about this and bring it into the next episode.
Yeah.
Because I'm on that, man. I'm on that like fish on a goose.
Well, it's tough for me, too, to say, yeah. I mean, no, I can think about it. Like, if they were a neutral kind of a person, they weren't like a total piece of shit, then yeah, I probably would in many cases. It's like, yeah, it's just going to be a lot of us being like, on the next Skimbo Lounge, who are we going to fuck?
What bug-eyed,
Yeah.
knock-kneed bitch from Hollywood do they think is super hot? And are they going to say super derogatory, chauvinistic things about?
Great.
Find out on a next Skimbo Lounge.
It's going to go super well.
It's a comedy show, they say, with a wink and a nod and a tug of the earlobe. Sure it is, guys.
Nope. On the next episode, we get away with murder. No, I don't. We can just put a pin in it. I think that's I guess the whole theory is being like, I think that all of Hollywood is just fairly attractive. It doesn't matter who it is.
Well, it's a
I
great
think
challenge. I'm going to think about it all week.
Guys get away with being a lot more ugly than women. 100%.
Totally. Brian Dennehy got fucked. He's a fat, weird old...
It's like Vincent D'Onofrio had a long career. There's a lot of examples.
Yeah. Seth Rogen.
Yeah. Hilarious.
Up against someone like Charlize Theron. In what world?
See? Good point.
Katherine Heigl. You don't see much of her anymore.
I hear she's terrible.
Bitched her way out of the industry.
Yep. Got herself blackballed.
Hate to see it.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's what you get. That's what you get.
That's what you get for doing a show like Grey's Anatomy. What the fuck is wrong with you? Doctors can't have sex in antiseptic environments all willy-nilly like that. It's not realistic.
Especially not now with COVID.
Kidding me?
A wave of sexy nurses in LA. Oh, COVID.
Damn it.
We can't have sex with each other now? It's not like the soaps.
Well, that's not going to stop us.
We have to
We're still making TikToks.
rash outbreak.
You got time for a handy.
Rash outbreak in Houston Hospital. Up next on Houston Hospital.
You know what would be a sick show?
What?
Goblin Hospital.
Why?
All the doctors are goblins. They're just super chaotic.
We've got to save this person, Stan. They're made by Jim Henson.
I don't even know if they can talk. Yeah, there's like one human liaison. He's like the fucking exchange doctor from some other place. And he goes to prestigious Goblin Hospital.
Dr. Snortnose to radiology.
It's just like gremlins. It's just them pulling out people's organs. But everyone makes a miraculous recovery.
Why did I get assigned here? Oh, yeah. And it's, thank you so much, doctor.
They're just blowtorching someone's chest cavity, and the guy just like wakes up. He's like, I feel 20 years younger.
Yeah, does a backflip. Yeah, actually, that sounds like a great trailer.
The goblins just belch and vomit on each other and throw shit at each other.
On an all-new
Fuck.
Goblin Hospital. We need to get this over to the people at Adult Swim immediately.
Goblin. Oh my God. They'd make Goblin Hospital. If you made it 15-minute episodes,
Yeah.
they would 100%
Just
do
loosely
it.
pull the script on it. Let's get it to them stat. Let's write a 15-minute episode for Goblin Hospital and pitch it to them.
I
Look,
can animate Goblin Hospital now.
We just. Oh yeah, can you?
I mean, I could
You're
do
making
it
big-
as a comic. I couldn't
It's big.
animate it.
No. So, yeah. See, look it. I want that shit done with puppets
I need an animator.
on
yeah,
an
or a
all-new
puppeteer.
Goblin Hospital. Yeah. I'm gonna do all the voices. They're all gonna be the same.
You just got to get them like pseudo saying words like in Gremlins. We're like,
Yeah.
Pepsi.
Yep.
It's just farts, bubbles, and zips around the room.
Yeah.
I mean, it writes itself.
It does. It's perfect.
Fucking Goblin Hospital.
You guys want Goblin Hospital? That's the name of this episode.
I might have to call this episode Goblin Hospital. But it's still going to be Daenerys with 3 boobs.
Yeah.
So figure that one
Well,
out.
you need to put that. You need to go watch the old Total Recall, or find pictures of it.
Oh, yeah.
Do it justice.
I don't
want to see you half step this.
No. I always work off a reference.
Put a 3-boobed dragon on her shoulder. We're gonna lose so many. We're gonna lose so many listeners.
If we haven't lost them already.
Yeah, that's true.
What are we looking at time-wise?
We're at a minute. We're at hour 5, hour 7.
That's probably good salad.
Yeah, it's
We've
pretty
been
good.
doing shorter episodes.
Yeah, no, that's not bad.
You know, because Americans with their short attention spans.
They only want this to be 10 minutes, apparently. We should start doing 10-minute episodes. We'll do one week where instead of releasing on Friday, we'll release 10-minute episodes for each day the next week.
Hey, that's a hell of an idea.
Yeah, we'll do 10-minute episodes Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday for a total of about 50 minutes.
Now, do we do 10-minute episodes filmed individually, or recorded individually, or do we record one long one and chop it up into 10-minute
I think we should come up with 10-minute topics of some kind and chop them up. We can do it all at once. I know you've got your trip coming up. No, you don't now, possibly.
Apparently, maybe not. I don't know.
Well,
TBD.
It's a long quarantine time going to a place like that. So, well, not really. It's a 2-week quarantine. It's not a long time. Depends on who you are.
Well,
time is relative. Am I right, people?
Is it still June?
That hurts. Oh, is the world better yet? Anyways, but yeah, we should do a nice, we'll do like a nice Monday through Friday. Unless we decide to go fuck that and just release one next Friday. You have to wait. If one doesn't come out on Friday, then we're releasing 10-minute episodes the next week after.
You'll know. And I think, yeah, that could be interesting.
You punk bitches.
That could be interesting, salad. Little mini-sodes.
Yeah, it
Little
could be
mini muffins for you
Would you
guys.
guys like
'cause you're
that?
fucking cretins.
You guys have any random topics you want us to talk about? Go ahead and text them to us because we all know you.
Yeah, come on.
You can go ahead and shoot us, things at skimbolounge@gmail.com, or you can get at us at Twitter. Even insults, we don't care.
Find us on Instagram. Yep. Everywhere you look, it's the Skimbo Lounge.
And soon on Etsy, I'll be selling jarred farts. Fresh mason jars with down home cooking piped hot farts in there.
Bayberry.
Oh wow, he had a boysenberry. He had boysenberry jam this morning.
Wow. Oh God, I don't believe this guy ever ate fruit.
I need to get in touch with him because he is not healthy.
Oh my God, these are like waffles, but like not the kind you would eat.
His colon is eating itself.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so I look forward to that too when we get the Skimbo Lounge Etsy going.
Maybe you'll get lucky and there'll be a dead bee in yours.
Maybe we'll just send you a pile of dead bees.
I don't want to promise you the moon, but
Oh God, where are they outsourcing dead bees from?
you don't want to know.
These are perfect for my stings, and they just start stabbing themselves.
It's medieval medicine.
Yep.
Rory doesn't want to get his menses, so he's allowing himself to be stung by bees so that the lords won't declare prima nocta again.
Mostly just makes me swollen and dizzy. Did you listen to the episode?
Rory hit his head.
Yeah, I did. I'm tired.
All right, well, yeah, let's
I
call
taste
it.
pickles. What? Go on.
Let's call it a lifetime, huh?
Yeah, sounds pretty good.
Let's be done with the podcast forever. No more episodes after
All
this
right,
one.
That's it.
Okay, this is all you get because you guys don't appreciate us. So until next time,
You spun that.
thank you, fuck yourselves, and goodbye.